Hello. What was that? Hey, Rakti is followed. Nice, nice. Got another follow. Alright, so that's our YouTube underway. Playing up our Twitch. Probably. Okay. I like how fast YouTube is. Okay, and there's our Twitch. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of our sweet... Oh hey, we got some upvotes on our...
Oh, that's good. That's a good sign.
Immediately got upvotes on our MHA thing. I like that on our Reddit. So, welcome everybody, welcome. We are going to be doing some My Hero Academia campaign here. If you guys have not seen our previous MHA videos, if you go over to our YouTube, Tables of Tartarus, that's where we save our stream archives for all of our streams, as well as a few other campaigns that we're currently doing as well. Some of them are a little bit older because they're backlogged videos, but all the Jumpchain ones that we're going to be streaming here are in fact what we do regularly. We are going to be... Oh, by the way, if you folks can just hop over onto our Twitch, that would be greatly appreciated. That way we can just get some sweet numbers. But anyways, so if you guys are interested in what you guys see here, feel free to go on to Tables of Tartarus, the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see the previous episodes as well and get a little bit of context to what we're doing. Also, if you're interested in supporting our group, go to Purgatory Corner on Patreon, and that's where you guys will be able to see our actual, you'll be able to get some stuff. And then our Discord on bottom right as well is where you guys will be able to get some other information, such as when we stream, what we stream, and just have a regular old fun time with the community. Alright, now my spiel is done that you guys be hearing pretty much every time you pop into a video. Let us continue. So, last episode, you guys, if I switch over to my GM screen on me. By the way, if you guys don't know what this is a D&D variation of Jumpchain, essentially. So, very fun stuff. So, last episode of Villains Jumpchain, there's a Heroes Counterpart as well. You guys went from, I believe, the Isle Agency all the way to the Yoku Hospital over here. And then you guys interacted with Tanya to figure out her hip thingy. Mal went and discovered a few other heroes that were in there. Specifically, barrier hero, Ignis. Who was inside of the hospital just recently, and they haven't heard anything since. And then Rusted also gained some information on Akia from the heroes, as well as a little information about Mr. Torque, namely the fact that they were, in fact, in critical condition. And then Akia and Mr. Torque actually both left that same night, which was real weird to learn. And then you guys went... Roasted started interacting with Diana, for pretty much the rest of the night over in here. Roast, I believe you were going to do a dex roll to see how good you were at, Corn, what's the specific phrasing?
A mixture of angling the buzzsaw of sorts, though the blade itself seems made of some sort of metal that isn't quite familiar, as well as assisting in the finer detail work of the grim scalpel to excise excess flesh.
Alright, should I roll a dex?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, God.
Well, I guess that could be for the buzzsaw, but I want to try... Is it okay if I roll for the scalpel at least?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, roll for the scalpel. Much better.
Hey.
Your inexperience with a buzzsaw being taken to marbled pseudo-flesh becomes visibly apparent after your first attempt to shear off a fair amount of it. You note that she does not grimace, though she does purse her lips slightly as she watches you. You manage to keep control of it for the most part. You don't end up accidentally shearing off a huge swath that wasn't intended to be cut, but
Oh,
She's
I was
not
gonna have I was gonna have the
satisfied.
hand as my new chair here.
There's a one where she kind of raises an eyebrow, and instead just explains how you can handle cleanup with the scalpel.
God.
Fortunately, your Grim Scalpel is really freaking solid.
Mm-hmm.
Your work detailed, meticulous. You managed to make up for it, and for the most part, after shearing off a fair chunk of it, with her operating a smaller saw in order to excise a lot of it, you notice that firstly, the chunks that fall to the ground do seem to gently bleed slightly onto the ground, though what they bleed is more of a lightish yellow fluid as opposed to blood.
Ew.
However, with the scalpel work, as well as with energy that seems to course along it, it does take on the shape of a right proper human arm pretty soon, though it does dangle limply at her side as she stands up.
Did that do the trick?
Yeah, it'll do. It'll take a while to break in the new flesh, but in the meantime, we want to take the scraps, bring them back together, and then toss them into the pit.
Very well. He
Yeah.
grabs up the pieces and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is your Grim Parasite out? And if so, does it come into contact with the ichor substance?
I think I rescind it after I was done with it because I only bring it out when I need to.
The ichor only seems to bleed out after it fell to the ground, so it doesn't seem like you got any of it on your scalpel as you were cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as you gather it up, she gestures towards what appears to be another curtained area. Just pull the curtain and then throw it into the hole.
Very well. Close the curtain. Prove it. 10 points. Anybody? No applause? Okay.
There's a wet splat sound as it impacts against the bottom of the pit as she nods. Excellent.
And then he looks down like, I hope this is not the ring hole, if you know what I mean.
You look into the pit? Is that what you said?
He was like, no, he was making a reference to the Ring movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Exactly.
best to step away. You don't want to fall in there.
Oh, definitely. Unless I can just climb my way out with my parasite.
They won't let you.
They? What do you keep being homeless down there or something?
Well, you could say they are without a home. Flesh like this. Well, I guess you could say it grows on trees, depending on your definition of what a tree really is.
Hope it's not the giving tree.
It's giving a hell of a lot to me.
Oh, God. Alright.
Anyway.
So you end up just kind of helping her for a lot of that night as well. And then for the rest of that night, I believe Rogue and... Whoops, I forgot to remove some people off of there. Hold on. If my computer would run faster. Come on. There you go. Good boy. Mr. Axel and Rogue here went back to the agency. Ooh, wow, my thing is really slow today. Jesus. Went back to the agency in order to gain information about Johan, because Axel technically has upheld his agreement, and Rogue had informed them of the presence of Malachi, who at this point in time has left. Again.
To be fair, the agreement was to get him the jug, though what you instead convinced her to do was to have Tanya contact Diana about it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so you walk back up to the building, I assume, Ron?
Yeah.
Yep. Rogue is standing there, assume politely nodding to you as you approach. Rogue?
Yep.
Oh, there you are. Yep. So you guys start heading up the building once more. Rogue, roll me a... I think I used sense last time. Roll me a sense.
Okay, sense. Yep. Here we go.
Alright, your electricity, having spent a lot of it earlier that morning technically, does not flare out and bring down the elevator that you are currently on, thank God.
That's a good thing.
Yep. as you eventually make it up, recalling the horrors of walking up all 17-ish flights of stairs, which are unpleasant, even for a very fit man such as yourself.
Yeah. Around floors 10 to 12, you get really tired, and
hmm
by the time you get to the designated floor above that, you want to kill yourself.
Yep. Anyways, you get all the way up, and you see Johan kind of sitting there. It's probably around midnight, I would say, most likely. Maybe like 1 o'clock-ish in the morning. So you assume that his assistant has gone to sleep for the night as well, because she's no longer in there either.
Okay, once again, why am I here? Oh, was it to check to see if
Yeah, the mission was done and stuff. That's why he went here originally.
he just walks into the door willy nilly,
Mhm.
walks in.
Yeah.
Ah,
Johan appears to be filing papers, looking a bit tired, but as he looks up, he's like, "Oh, good, you're here."
I assume Tanya has called you about the mission. I've talked with her.
I received a text message from Diana about her being called.
Right. She was the one who wanted the
Joke.
the jug. Yes.
Well, technically, I'm the one who requested the jug, but I'm more likely to get it through Diana than I am through Tanya directly, so the job is more or less complete.
Good. I didn't. I at first was thinking to maybe take it by force, but seeing Tanya herself, I assumed that was not a very good idea, considering the woman would have laid me flat like a damn pancake.
Most likely. Ever since her previous encounter with Ron's earlier group, she's become a lot more cautious going into each new world.
So I have noticed. She took to me not exactly swimmingly, I would say.
Makes sense.
Yes,
No,
she's taken
looking
to
back,
a PvP build, I believe she liked to call it.
Again,
okay.
these interesting phrases.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, quite interesting.
I was never much of a gamer myself, so it's not one I'm too familiar with, but I have friends who explain her slang.
It's good to have those friends who can't figure it out on your own. So it's good to know someone.
But aside from that, is there anything else you require, Mr. Johan?
What is your business with the one known as Dollhouse? Have you recalled it all?
No. All I know is that I just want him dead.
By your hand, or does the methodology not matter?
I would prefer it to be by my hand, but as long as I am within the same room as I see the light fade from his eyes, would be suffice.
I see. Well, it's a complicated affair, but I can get you information on his current whereabouts. I know his location of employment, thanks to a certain individual. Not only
Currently,
that, I know where he's currently, or at least where he was as of 2 hours ago. He's undergoing treatment for cataclysmic injuries to his body sustained during the line of duty.
so you're saying he's weakened.
Considerably. It would make it quite easy for you to terminate him completely, if that's your goal.
It is my goal to see him dead, but I would not kill an injured man. I will wait until he has recovered enough to put up a good fight, at least.
I see. That's beneficial for the both of us, then. I haven't received the jug, but it seems like you don't quite need the location data yet. Would you prefer if I deferred the payments and gave you his location when he's healed?
Yes. But until then, maybe we can still keep our agreement going. I would
course.
prefer to know as much as I can about my enemy. And you seem to be the man who's very, very good at getting such information. I will do more tasks for you. You give me more information regarding Dollhouse.
Hopefully you don't take offense to this, but I never thought that an individual so reminiscent of Ron in flesh would follow my orders. Your last self was quite the chaotic force.
Hopefully, this proves to you that I am no longer this person. At least not now. I have no idea if he would ever resurface or not.
I believe you entirely. There's no force on Earth that could break Ashente. No
What
force outside of it either.
You see, Johann sees him raise an eyebrow. What is a shinte?
Consider it a binding promise enforced by God. Those who make the contract with me must follow through with the events of the contract. Of sorts, at least. When we played rock, paper, scissors, you lost, and the laws of the contract clearly dictated that you would speak only the truth. Therefore, if you claimed that you are not Ron, then you are not Ron. You are Axel Dusk.
Also,
Such a convenient tool.
a little something extra to spice and sweeten the deal, at least for me. I would also like to have information about this Ron. In case he ever does resurface, I want to know the best way to deal with him.
I see. Unfortunately, the information I can gather you may be outdated. I have no clue how many jumps that you've participated in since last we met. I've
I've heard a
participated
little
in
bit
more
about-
than a few.
I've heard a little bit about this jumping. Would you mind telling me exactly what it is?
There are those who are selected by a force bordering on divinity. Those divinities possess great power and grant that power to select individuals. This power allows them to move between realities, from place to place. Go downtown and buy yourself a manga, and that manga will detail a reality that you could land yourself in. The jumps continue forward, forward, and forward, accruing abilities that you can bring some of into the following world. Your appearance there, your ability to summon a bird, it is likely that those are the gifts of your benefactor.
So you know about this one. He holds his arms up and Ludwig comes out just kind of pecking at its wings.
I know a surprising amount about a surprising amount, but yes. There's another ability, but given how hazy your vision was earlier, it's unlikely that it was brought. Ron possesses an ability that few others do. It is an ability known as a stand. Though he doesn't seem to have access to it in this world, but the fact that you even possessed one at all is likely what brought us together. There is a law written into the fabric of creation. Stand users attract other stand users.
Diana, is she also one?
Indeed.
That would explain the pull I had. When I first met Miss Diana, there was a pull for me to go down this particular alley at this particular time. I did not know at the time what it was. That is when I met her. Now I understand what this is all about.
Yes. The pull of one stand user to another is a powerful one, and often a subconscious one. But, used in the right circumstances, it can allow you to avoid conflict as well. Potentially at least. Despite my best efforts to keep a low profile, I still find myself encountering stand users such as yourself surprisingly often. Tanya and Diana frequent my office.
Ghosts in the blood. Now I think I slightly understand.
Yes, they are a manifestation of your soul that stand beside you. Hence the name Stand.
I wonder if there's a way to bring out this power. It would be very interesting to have, especially when I need to be able to have eyes in the back of my head.
It all depends. A system was implemented for your group following our previous encounter. You are bound in how many tools you may bring into the next world. It uses a succinct monetary system. But if Ron did not choose to bring in his Stardust Speedway, then I don't think you'll have access to it.
That is unfortunate. But I at least found access up to my good little friend here.
Indeed.
I guess because it is more directly connected to one's soul, I would say. Is
Mhm.
this thing similar to a stand in a sense?
It does seem to be something that stands within you. Still, I don't recognize the creature.
Because as odd as it is, he de-summons it,
Mhm.
and then the like the armor on his arm starts to kind of melt away,
Mhm.
and you see like the tattoo on his arm. It becomes this tattoo whenever I don't have it summoned.
Interesting. Nonetheless, as interesting as it is, it would be best if we ceased the free information exchange between
Right.
ourselves. All future information is best coordinated through a contract. That way you can be sure that that everything that comes from my mouth is nothing but the truth. Though, I will say one thing to you, Rogue.
Yes.
Wait, was it Rogue or Rouge?
Rogue.
Mhm.
Rogue. Let's see. For whatever reason, some information came up that perhaps is of interest to you. It seems that there are multiple individuals from UA Academy. For whatever reason, it tripped some sort of sensor. They seem to be coming to Mugen Academy for recreational purposes.
That's interesting. Who's the individuals?
That
I
would
don't have
be
information.
Deku. At least from what you've seen, Yoan. That would be Deku that you've learned, as well as a young spirited girl who I don't quite recall the name of. Hold on just a moment. I have her picture somewhere.
Uraraka?
No, is my own custom character. If my thing would load.
Oh.
Sai Matamina, a girl with cat-like qualities as well as a great control over elements. Well, not great control, but significant control of one.
Alright. He shrugs and says, that information is worth something. I'd like to make a trade for it. I can tell you who they are and why they are investigating Mugen, but in exchange, I would like to know about that lightning of yours. It's rare to see something that can so thoroughly slag even Diana's creations.
Yes, it is kind of a odd thing to come across. I think that's worth the information.
All right. Where did you get this power?
Well, since it's basically known that we're jumpers, as I call it, I got from a world where everyone has a special ability or semblance. Somehow, this chaotic lightning became mine. It was a power that could take out a powerful dragon in a single blow, but it can also harm whoever I'm with as well as myself. Think of it more as a 1 in 4 chance of doing something or nothing or something bad, something good. It's more of a gamble than anything, but when it's go ahead.
Oh, he's just going,
But basically 2/3 of the time it's usually shocked myself, which I'm surprised it hasn't damaged me more than lightning should have. But when it works well, as you can tell with Diana and her arm. Hope she's doing okay, by the way.
Oh, she is. She was able to send me a text message, which suggests that she's more distracted than anything else. Not a single curse word from her during the body of the message. She has better
That's
things
good.
to worry about then.
Okay, that's good to hear. One other thing I should say. Um, in the second to last world I was in, I inadvertently chose to summon a beast from the water, a 5-headed leviathan
Mhm.
or hydra. Sorry, I get names confused. Still haven't really recovered from the last time I was shocked by my own power. But anyways, uh, yeah, it's last time I got knocked out for like 2 days, so I'll have some issues with my short-term memory.
Mhm.
But it gained my power through its blood and grew a 6th elemental head, which, ironically enough, it basically killed itself due to my
Hmm.
power. So
I see.
I'm
Mm,
still trying to figure this out, but that's all I know.
I see. Well, if I ever have need for a gamble of that caliber, I'll seek to call upon you. Ashente's powers are considerable. You'd be surprised by what I can do with it to assist those who benefit me.
I'll be waiting for the call then.
Now, for my end of the bargain, do you require evidence of my telling the truth, or will you believe me on sight?
Eh, I'll believe you on sight.
The two
So far,
individual. Hmm?
so far you've been telling the truth, and
Mhm.
I think I can trust you.
All right. The individuals are two students of UA, one of which is an interesting sort. Midoriya, hero name Deku, I think.
Okay.
He's an interesting sort. According to his listings, he had no quirk until practically the day of his examination. He had the listing suddenly added an incredible strength, a level of physical strength so powerful it destroys even his own body, if the footage I was able to acquire is anything to go by.
That is a rather intriguing quirk,
Yes,
as you
a
guys call it.
glass cannon build that can damage even itself in exchange for overwhelming power. I wonder why that sounds so familiar to me right now.
Hmm. Yeah, it does sound oddly familiar.
The other
And
appears to be a girl by the name of Mitama. Sai Mitama. Her abilities seem to pertain to a biologically manifested quirk regarding cat physiology. If you do encounter her and need to engage her in combat, be careful. I've encountered those with cat physiology in the past, and they have a tendency to be very flexible, let's say.
hmm,
Makes
Roll
it
me
difficult to
sense
contain
real
them.
quick, Rogue.
I will.
Although you never got her
Yeah.
name,
Ah.
you do very much so very easily remember the cat girl, because she's the only person you've ever met who's been able to control electricity to a better degree than you, but in a very similar fashion.
Oh,
Hmm.
she has an electricity manipulation
She has
quirk?
she has a elemental manipulation ability, specifically.
Ah, well then in that case, he'll list it as a dual quirk,
Oh, yeah.
including
Mhm.
that. Yeah, when you said manipulate her elements, I legit thought that you just meant the elements of her cat
Oh,
physiology.
no, I mean, like, yeah, she's able to actually manipulate elements. The weird thing is that she always brings a stick with her.
But yeah, so Johan nods. That is the information that I can provide you with there regarding them specifically. But what
Mhm.
they're seeking, according to a certain listening device, they seem to be looking into a recent persons of interest regarding UA. Apparently, a few individuals did something in UA that they weren't happy with. I don't know all of the details. I only know that they seem interested in finding out who it was that involved themselves in UA affairs. Does any of this sound familiar to you?
It it does. This cat-like girl. Does she happen to have uh electrical abilities by any
According to her
chance?
dual quirk listing, yes. You know her then?
Yeah, I fought her once. Granted,
Ah,
I ended up punching her out, but she's the first person I've come across that has had the ability to control lightning somewhat. So
I see.
Mhm.
An interesting quirk then. I
it
might seek
definitely
to
is.
employ her. Physically speaking, her body is marketable. You'd be surprised by how well cat girl idols sell nowadays.
I
Assuming that she's willing to work here anyway.
uh, at the times I've met her, she has an odd happy-go-lucky personality, but
That is
she's
what most
also
seek in an idol. Hmm?
true. But she's also really determined to be a hero. So it might be a tough deal to make with her. But
Oh, the heroes such as Medusa already involve themselves in considerable amounts of television and the like in order to better expand their brand, let themselves be known amongst the populace, beloved by the people. If she desires
true.
to be a hero, I can expedite that process considerably with my resources if she chooses to contract with me and my agency.
I I could see her doing that. I mean, do guys see heroes nowadays?
Mhm.
Most 3/4 of it is them being in the spotlight.
Yes,
So
some take it better than others. All Might versus Endeavor, as an example.
mm,
But
true,
who
true.
knows? I won't force the girl into a job if she won't accept it, but something tells me that I'll have a new idol on my crew sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's a good thing to hear.
Mhm.
At least that might distract her from investigating her investigation currently. So
Yes. Though there is
I'm,
one more thing. A mission for the two of you, should you choose to accept it. For, let's say, an undisclosed favor. I will owe you, each of you, and you may call upon my services in repayment if you should achieve what I desire.
sounds fair. What's the job?
There was an entity recently that was going about. You could say he was helping to clean up the streets, but he recently disappeared. I'm interested in where he went. What happened to him?
Hmm,
Are you familiar with the vigilante known as the Apostle?
the apostle. I've heard of the name before, but
Mm. He's a very popular social media sensation.
I've seen things about him. I mean, didn't really
Became a
think I'd be running
meme.
into him.
What'd you say, Sin?
He became a meme.
Yeah. Well, his activities are the sort of thing I approve of. I had one of my girls in an unfortunate situation recently, where she was accosted by some mugger. I'm not sure how bad things would have gone down, but apparently, having recalled a meme of sorts on the internet, she called out to the apostle. The mugger was rendered unconscious within 6 seconds, and a white-robed man wished her well, asked her if she needed an escort anywhere, and called her an Uber.
Wow, that's speedy service there.
Yes, I owe the apostle a favor for his protection of one of my girls. If he's disappeared due to having encountered difficulties, I would like to terminate those difficulties with extreme prejudice. But I
Jesus.
can't do that as so long as I don't know his identity. Find out what you can about the Apostle. Bring that information to me. I will not allow my debts to remain unpaid.
I like the sound of that. I'll do the best I can.
Of course.
I know some people that could probably help out, so
Oh,
shouldn't take too
Axel,
long.
Johan just offered the two of you a new mission regarding a recent disappearance. You're to look into the Apostle. The Apostle saved one of his idols a while back, so he wants to pay the Apostle back.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If, well, if the apostle is someone going around saving people roughly, it'd be worth looking into the hero organization. They might have some way of being able to figure out where he is.
Indeed. Hopefully they have information on the subject. But my current contact inside of the Heroes Association has been a bit too active lately. If I continue to apply pressure, who knows what might get found out regarding my activities.
Well, obviously. If I'm going to go anywhere near the heroes, I'm going to have to come up with an idea for a perfect disguise. Going and looking like this would not be very wise. And going in with my normal face, especially to wherever wherever Ron was a hero at, would also not be very wise.
I'll tell you
True,
now,
true.
there are few who can employ as many skilled makeup artists as myself. If you have need for a disguise, we have customers as well. This is an idol agency, after all, and we do specialize in live events.
Truth be told, I wouldn't mind modeling a disguise after you, Mr. Johan. I like your suave business look. Maybe
I
something
can
to that effect.
I can have that arranged. Mind you, your outfit's coloration will likely differ from mine considerably.
But of
No
course,
offense meant. I don't want the Heroes Association looking at your outfits and thinking, that fashionable man reminds me of another one.
yeah, that is quite all right. Something preferably in black would probably do well. It goes with my eyes, you see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have the costumers and the makeup artists that usually work on the male idols come together. Will you be available tomorrow at 5:30 a.m.? Or would you prefer a later period during the day?
That would be preferable for me, considering I really don't have anywhere to go.
I see.
That's a good time for me.
I'll have it arranged immediately then. How attached are you to your current hair colors?
Considering this hair color is actually given to me by the suit, well, you see, he kind of takes it off, and underneath is just normal Ron, and he goes from black hair to slightly brownish black hair.
Mm-hmm.
My hair color isn't exactly, I'm not really attached.
Ah, that's a unique trick. But
It's
in my
part of the armor, apparently. It has
Hmm.
a fluid mentality. Apparently, it's also connected to my unique body signature,
okay,
or at least
that is
Ron's
truly unique.
body signature.
And
But-
how attached are you to your hair, Mr. Rogue?
Not too much. I have been in the professions where I've had to change how I look on a dime. So
All right. I can provide you with hair dye or wigs. Bald caps, of course. Do you have preference?
yeah, I've had good luck with wigs in the past. So I'll go
All right.
that path.
I'll provide you with authentic materials then. No need to go synthetic if they'll be too easily picked out. Arrive tomorrow, and I will have your disguises tailored to you perfectly. Find what you can on the Apostle. The sooner I can repay him, the sooner that thoughts of debt may leave my mind and I may manage this company with greater efficacy.
Efficiency.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
And I have to say, I like the way you work.
Thank you.
So
Do you
yes,
have
I guess.
any other requests, information, or anything like that? I wouldn't mind formulating any future contracts ahead of time if there's anything you should desire.
Hmm. At the
Preferably,
current time, there's nothing that comes up to mind for me.
I guess
I
for
generally
me,
just
I would need a more detailed information about about the world as a whole. You know, being rightly born and not much on memory wise. It's going to be interesting when they ask me about specific world events in history, and I have no recollection of anything.
I'll prepare a slideshow for you. It's a lot easier to handle than the history books. I've read a few of them myself. I've had saltines less dry.
Oh, I can feel the actual burn in those words. Holy shit.
Alright, cool. I'm assuming at this point y'all start walking away.
Mhm.
Alright, cool. So you guys eventually exit the house, probably going to whatever area you will be spending the next, probably about 5-ish hours, roughly.
Along the way, I do want to have Axel kind of do a little bit of a role play with Rogue for a bit because he's got a particular thing he wants to ask.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Hmm.
I'll move you guys out to this spot. Actually no, I'll keep... Hey, come on, computer, go faster, please. Thank you. I'll keep y'all right here, just because it's very cinematic, and just remove him and move you to.
Because the way I feel like, they're in the elevator and he's talking with him about this.
Yep.
So,
It's...
Rogue,
Yes.
I'm guessing you've also had a run-in with, he uses quotation marks, me, to an extent.
I have, yes.
Is there any reason why I had a interesting reaction when I saw your lightning?
Well, there is. You see this rogue just laugh a little bit and chuckle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the first world we were in together. Well, see, I was in your world. Odd how that worked out. Two
Mhm.
worlds existing parallel. Yes, can call it parallel universes. But yeah, I actually hold on. I think I have a picture of it. My
Picture.
phone and yes, that's where I know you from. I think we're in a tournament fighting against each other, and I end up blinding punching you in
Mhm.
rather sensitive uh part on you. And Rouge just shows him the picture of the lightning punch to the
To the nuts.
The moment he sees it,
the
he
nuts.
instantly has a hand on his groin. You can see he's like, yes, yes. The mind may not remember, but the body definitely does.
Yes, I can definitely tell, and I'm glad you remember.
Mhm.
We're on different sides. You were I believe, a hero, and I was a villain.
Mhm.
In a sense,
Heroes.
I'm still true. In a sense, I'm still a villain, but lately I've been.
To
That
tell you the
line's been
truth,
blurred.
bro, I don't exactly
Yes.
see you as a villain. I have a faint idea of, heroes and villain stuff, but you don't seem that much of a villain to me. More in a sense of like a businessman. And businessmen aren't inherently evil, yes.
True. The way I deal with things is businesslike and creating many contacts.
But now, that persona fellow, or however he says himself, he is an interesting case, I will admit. He tries to act the villain, but in my opinion, he's not very good at it.
Yeah, he's kind of as you can say, a cliche,
Mhm.
but he's generally good to deal with. Even though sometimes you have to kind of quickly hurry things along. Still,
Yes.
good
Although,
person to know.
though he doesn't seem to be very adequately a villain, so to speak, he does have room. He always has room for improvement. So as much as
Yeah,
do I.
everyone always has room for improvement. That's how I view things.
Now then, I hope you don't mind if I bunk with you for tonight. I have absolutely nowhere to go.
Oh, go ahead. There's always room in my place for someone on my team.
No,
Project Axel, ship.
Yeah. So you guys eventually start moving along down the elevator. Whoa, roll me sense again real quick.
Okay.
no.
Oh no, here we go. And you're gonna shock the whole damn roof.
Yeah, your electricity is lying out. So as he says, bump with you, and makes the point of bumping against you as a kind of joking thing. Electricity flares through his arm.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'm not sure what's up with my lightning. For some reason
It was just shock enough to kind of like tense his muscles.
Uh-huh.
Ding dong.
You just see him like his arm all tense. He's like, no, don't worry, no harm, no foul, right? You don't exactly have control over your lightning.
At least it wasn't
Yeah.
in the elevator. At least it wasn't lightning hitting the elevator.
True. I
That would have been so much worse. But okay. So you guys eventually get out of the elevator, which is honestly just a risk with Rogue, I'll be honest.
That would be funny if it fell down, just be like, wee!
Yeah. So as eventually go, you guys get some sleep as the day starts to pass. I believe Roasted, you wanted to tell Diana something back here before the day ended?
Yeah, he was talking to her about like trying to talk about demon blood as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, Diana, there is one thing you might find interesting besides my grim parasite.
Elaborate.
He summons up his little puppet.
Oh yeah. The he has a tiny, not shuppet. It was
It was a Bennett.
yeah, Bonnet that appears from his waist into a full creature form.
Yeah, it jumps off his little belt and just say hello to my little friend.
What's his name?
I never thought about the name, in all honesty. And Bennett looks at him like, you serious? Really? He is my eyes, basically. If you ever need a spy or something, or if you need something that's hard to track down without trying to get too much notice, this little friend here, pats him on the head, can be of service in a way.
Would you say your bond with this partner is close?
Yes, he is, in a way. I gained him during when I was on another jump. So, in a way, he is my little friend and partner when it comes to spying and gathering information.
I see. If I have need for information gathering that a Bonnet can access, I'll request it.
And I do want to talk about this demon blood. And also, there's a little proposal I might want to try out.
You have
demon
my
blood,
interest.
oh, go ahead.
You have my interest.
We'll talk about the demon blood in a minute, but you already know my quirk is negative emotion manipulation, right?
Yes, I remember asking if perhaps other forms of emotions might be influenceable as well.
It's
Continue.
possible. I need more test subject to experiment on. If you could provide me with that, I can probably experiment. But there's also something that I've thought about. If there is a way to contain, let's say, multiple people in, let's say, like capsules or anything, still filled with hatred or rage, I wonder what would happen if they could all combine together. So many rages formed into one ball creates a monster. It may be uncontrollable, but it could cause chaos. And what would happen if the heroes knew nothing about it?
You're suggesting creating some sort of abomination to spread about chaos and disarray.
Yes, as a last resort. Something that is uncontrollable, probably, because all the rage and emotion builds up into one thing, and I can sometimes barely control the things I summon. Luckily, most of them have attacked the enemies. But given the right conditions, given the right things, I could easily either, one, combine like rage, or even despair together, and create something new entirely. What would happen if many emotions were fused into one? Again, something like that would probably be uncontrollable. But the possibilities are endless with that kind of stuff.
Hmm. Do you have a specific purpose in mind, or is this out of a sheer interest in scientific progress?
Both, in a way. In case heroes ever try something that puts us on edge, it's a trump card. Something that will throw heroes into disarray. And the possibility, if things start causing chaos and destruction, even with heroes on the horizon, the despair that or fear that many of the citizens could feel, I could easily take that from them as well.
Hmm. To draw it all together at once reminds me of something I once saw. All power, energy brought together, a single black orb in the sky.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Perhaps you could recreate such a thing with your quirk, on a scale that no one in this world has seen. Of
Given the
course,
right
you would be aware that if it is truly uncontrollable and threatens the lives of all, I might be required to terminate you in the process, yes?
That is true, but it's better to start small than start from big. If you start from big now, there's no telling what could happen.
Of course. I simply mean that if things get out of hand, I am very likely to take things into my own hands as a result. Be
True
wary
enough.
of that. I'd rather not terminate an helpful assistant.
Believe me, that's why I said only a last resort. Better to experiment now than try to do something stupid and uncontrollable later.
All right. I'll find resources for you to have access to. Positive emotions for some, negative for the others. It should be easy enough to induce particular emotional states. I have means. I'll.
Good.
Do you have preference on who is used? I'll be using adults, of course. More tempered emotions, but more easy access.
If there is a way, the one thing I know that could easily find rage is inmates. Not superpowered inmates, but robbers or anyone like that. Or even possible. He puts his finger up, D class, or how about death row inmates?
My thoughts were of the same. I already have a methodology in place for extracting death row inmates prior to their death.
And the rage they built up for many years can lead to extraordinary results. Since they have nowhere to go, they keep that rage bottled up until they unleash it during a riot.
You'd be surprised by how few of them seem so possessed by rage. But those few are our targets anyway, aren't they?
True enough.
I'll, ha- I'll have one extracted and brought here shortly. I already had half a mind to continue my experimentations.
Yeah,
But performing my demon blood experiments on you are likely to result in far more interesting results, albeit irreplicable ones.
you can't go. Science requires sacrifice.
Yes, but I have more than enough blood to be willing to sacrifice it. Have you
Very
thought
well.
at all about your desires?
Hmm. What could be useful in your opinion since you seem to be the expert on it? What would you recommend?
Hmm.
I am very
How's
fast and nimble. I can easily turn into a mist form as well, in case I need to make a quick getaway. And I also do have a few more abilities up my sleeve that I could always use. For
how
instance,
durable is your flesh?
that's actually a good question.
If I sought to sink a knife into your kidney from behind, what
You
prevents me from
have.
doing so?
He has a 5 tier endurance, so.
Yeah, he's a fine.
Yeah, that's some pretty absurdly durable body then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I pretty much have a very durable body. And in case if you damage me too much, I could always use my other ability to heal myself back to, well, a point in time when my body didn't get hurt.
I see. How frequently do you use tools in your combat? Are you more of a hand-to-hand fighter?
I'm more of a ranged fighter. But in case if I do have to get close and personal, I don't like using my fists sometimes, but only if the situation calls for it. I like to he pulls out his whip. A whip is very fast and nimble. You've got to be quick on the eye in order to hit an opponent. But it could be leaving confusion. But with my Grim Parasite, it's somewhat free transformative, but it's also a trump card in case, well, I did use the last time when I was back at UA. I had to go up close to a person, and my Grim Parasite just basically thrust it right into their chest.
I see. Seems as though your body is already at the level of a pseudo-demon already.
So,
Well, choose your favorite trait then. I can enhance each and any of them. Though, obviously, not all at once. Your body would likely terminate itself from the sheer magnitude of demonic influence spiking throughout your soul.
well, let's gather a list together. In the meantime, I should probably go see about also talking with Johan as well as going to my therapist thing with my new patient, apparently.
I pity the poor woman.
Oh, don't worry about it. Place a few words of doubt in her mind, get some information out, try to comfort the individual, and everything's fine. At their moment of weakness, they let their guard down.
You must not like this person very much.
Oh, no. It's just a job for me. But it's just a job for me. And besides, helps with trying to understand the human mind.
I suppose it's only through breaking something down that you can understand its constituting elements. Still,
Right.
I've never been a fan of medical practitioners using their tools for their own benefits. But I won't judge any more than you'll judge her. She flexes the marbled fingertips as blue veins throb. As any more than you'll judge this.
So, in a minute, I will go do my thing, and when I'm done with my therapy, I could call you, and we could both talk to Johan. And in the meantime, you can get that list together, whichever demon you think suits me better, because I will leave that to your professional choice.
Well, call me biased, but I think I have a half idea formed already. Finish your business, and phone me. All will be well and ready by then.
Very well, ma'am. I leave you to your work, and good luck with your looks at arm. Thing arm, if I could make a joke there. Fantastic Four much.
I prefer the term appendage.
True enough. Anyway, I bid you Alvida's.
She gives you a small wave with her good hand before returning to what appears to be a monitor screen.
Yep. And I guess we've already done the therapy session and all that,
So
Yep, probably
several...
up on that YouTube channel thing.
Yep, it's episode 12 if you guys want to go see that. So time passes more or less. The school signifies that you are in fact able to do your therapy session with Akia, as she has gotten a new phone and new way of contacting them, so they transferred your information over, so she'll be seeing you about noon. So time passes and whatnot. Ron and Rogue down at the Idol Agency down here. They make quick work to their thing. They spend most of their day being dulled up, as it were.
Oh, these are some high quality ones. You think they're going to spend more than an hour on prep? You're right. It takes like an hour and a half.
Yeah. While he's going there, after his therapy session, he got some new information, things that actually shocked him, and things that were interesting to him.
Yep. So they go in, they get their stuff checked out, and I'm assuming they're going to head to Mugen. And then about 6 hours or so later, you do your therapy session with Akia, probably after getting quite a bit of sleep, because y'all haven't slept for a while.
He slept, and he's going to go to the Idol Agency. But while on the way, he's going to call Diana
About noonish at this, about 1 o'clock actually, about this point in time.
Yeah.
She picks up pretty quick. You can hear odd sounds in the background, though they're kind of hard to make out, as she says, "Oh, good. You called. What's up? Are you ready?"
Yes, but I also got some information that Johann, and even something that even shocked me, something very interesting that Johann might be able to use, if possible.
You have my interest.
Do you remember those 2 kids? The ones we talked about earlier?
Oh, yes, the one that had the discount Ashente. I recall
Yes,
reading about that.
apparently they're still alive. They
Oh.
faked their deaths.
I see. That's
So-
troublesome.
And so I'm going to tell Johann. So in return, my mind thought about this. If Johann tells the Shadow Man, Johann can in return owe a favor from the Shadow Man. So that way, everybody wins.
By the way, just to clarify, Yuki 100% threw Ron under the bus there. Oof. Just hardcore
Yeah.
shunked him on the bus and fucking drove over him.
God damn, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Diana's
hardcore.
actually gonna, Diana's gonna let out a small sigh. Let me guess. Of course. So these orphaned children, they are now in a position where Johann has the opportunity to give up their location for a favor, yes?
If you can
Yes,
find them.
and I thought it could work out in both Johann and the Shadow Man's favor, without drawing attention too much to us.
Well, I can confirm that things definitely will be taking place, and the Shadow Man will owe Johann a favor. But I know that man. I worked with him for a while. There are very few things that I am positive he would never do, and throwing orphans under a bus happens to be one of them. But don't worry, if Johann acts the way I knew him as, assuming he hasn't undergone some great character change in however many jumps it's been since last we interacted, there's a good chance that he'll still in debt the Shadow Man. This all for one.
Yes, and I personally want nothing to do with those 2. Personally, I've already gotten my fill from the Shadow Man, so I'm doing whatever I need to do to help out both the Shadow Man and Johann, since I do both owe you in a way.
Doesn't make any sense though. Ooh.
What doesn't make sense?
He doesn't want anything to do with the Shadow Man, but he's gonna help the Shadow Man.
I think
Like-
by the 2 he meant the children.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get involved after what happened already.
I
Yeah, I get that.
Avoiding the children would be best.
Yes.
I received a message from Tanya. They are officially under her protection. In short, don't go after the children, and don't allow any of your companions to go after the children if they value their lives.
That's fine, but I'll tell Johann to make sure to tell them, if they're not back at the idle agency right now.
Yes. Watch yourself. I'm not going through this process of extracting blood for you just for you to get crushed underneath Hecate.
That's why I'm not going after those 2 children. They're too much of a pain in the ass for me to deal with.
Good.
So I'll see you at the idle agency, and we can get started on that thing while I deliver the news to Johann.
Yes. I'll set up the entrance to my workshop there.
Very well.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a in the background you hear a wet squelching followed by a high-pitched shrill shriek coming from lungs and voice cords that are distinguishably not human.
Yeah, and he hears that his body just freezes up, and he just closes the phone. He's like, "Yep, I think I just met Mrs. Frankenstein."
All right. So we're going to move over to where Ron wrote. At this point, you guys have changed the kind of outfit. I'm assuming you're going to either Mugen or somewhere else to get info on the Apostle or other heroes and stuff, or the UA students there coming to Mugen to participate in a group activity between schools, as the official listings signify.
Ah,
I believe Mugen's the best place to start since
Mhm.
that's where probably is the easiest place for us to get information.
Ron, you wouldn't know anything about this because you are new. Rogue, roll me a nat d20.
D20. Just regular D20.
Yeah, just a flat.
straight up
Okay.
D1.
Oof. You have not gotten
Yeah.
any information whatsoever on the Apostle from your various sources, unfortunately. The only information that you've ever come across in terms of who the Apostle is, what he's done, where he's been, so on and so forth, is possibly, maybe, there was some kind of connection with Mugen because they apparently had something to do with a out finding to find him or something of that sort. Your sources are
Someone in Mugen got a mission to find him. Who got the mission? Don't know. Who made the mission? Don't know. Was it a success? Don't know. Where did they go? Don't know. But there was a mission.
Yeah.
When was the mission? Don't know.
Your sources were remarkably vague. You have almost as low information as you had before you started contacting people.
But at
This-
least now we have a jumping off.
True. At least we have a good starting point.
Mugen
Probably the
and
best
Cat.
place to need to look.
This is going to be interesting, trying to blend in with Hero.
Definitely will, but it can be done.
You look like a suave businessman now, of course, with your slice along the cheek, but that's less defined now because of makeup.
Also, I'm just gonna put this out there. I don't care what like if y'all had any idea of what he was gonna be before, but now the only thing I'm just gonna say this one line. You guys are gonna know exactly what he looks like right now. Got it memorized.
Oh no.
God damn it, Axel.
Here we go.
Oh dear.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
what's he gonna do?
Oh, you poor bastard. You look like fucking Axel.
And his name is Axel.
Oh, you fucking
Somebody,
dude.
on that, somebody who is coming up with his disguise is a jumper, or maybe somehow,
Subconscious memories.
Yeah.
some way, it just all comes together.
It just somehow it's just by coincidence, by pure wacky thinking. Also, because Jumpchain had a particularly funny moment. You just get actually that's from your god, not from Jumpchain. You just thought it'd be funny. Okay. So you look like a fire red head with massive spikes on his skull from his hair. Shockingly, the amount of hair gel, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's why he's kind of idly scratching at it every now and then.
Rogue, I assume you changed outfit as well?
I did, yes.
Nice.
So,
But you may look like him from the neck up, but from the neck down, Bruce Wayne, basically.
Oh, Bruce Wayne here. Oh,
Bruce
boy.
Wayne, Axel, God. Alright.
oh, God.
Rogue, what kind of look did you change into?
Kind of look.
Mhm.
Well, I would. Well,
Mhm.
well, I haven't really thought about that much. Basically,
Mhm.
well, seeing how Axel looks,
Yep.
I think it's safe to bet that he looked
Oh.
like someone who was into punk.
Oh, okay. It's more of a
Just to
biker
not-
jack kind of guy.
Exactly.
Alright. We can work with that. Alright. So you're kind of wearing a biker jacket, and you have some other outfit trinkets on you.
A biker jacket
biker
just
and a
full of
businessman went
studs,
to a bar.
spikes.
Nice, nice.
No, kind of the heavy metal, metalhead slash punk
You know,
kind
it's
of style.
funny.
So.
It's funny, you know? They basically swapped styles.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, so you guys head on to over to the area, which for now I'm just going to put down, boop and boop.
Yeah.
If it would work, come on, there we go. As you guys
Just
are,
pretend the actual Axel. So,
yeah, towards
There you go.
Mugen. As you guys, walking towards Mugen, it's middle of the day, more or less. They're having their usual bouts and training sessions and stuff. Although you have been told it is a half day. At the moment that you guys walk in to the area, you are informed by someone at the gates that there is currently a training session going on. If you'd like to wait, you're welcome to head inside and go into the waiting room and see if you can find the principal who will talk with you, or you can come back at a later time and be able to talk with anybody in particular.
let's go talk to the principal.
No,
Let's say the principal will have more information about our current meeting.
Okie dokie. So you head inside, probably, waiting around a little bit as somebody goes and fetches him before the principal himself walks up to you folks. Which, do I have his picture out here? I probably do. Or not.
Fun, because I'm finally gonna better use this thing I have. Unknowingly, at least, because, that's just how it works.
Yeah. See, you head up and you see Mr. Doko himself as he smiles and nods to you. Hello and welcome. It's rare that we get some visitors such as yourselves. What may I ask are you doing here?
You see, I wanted to employ my son into your school.
He nods. We're in the middle of a school term at the moment, so that might be a little bit hard. I'm surprised that you'd be interested in joining our school, though I am very appreciative of it. Is there anything in
Yes,
particular?
I assumed that a more out of the way school such as this could have used a little bit of the yeah, he kind of rubs his fingers together, recognition, so to speak.
Yes, the school is rather small, but we do appreciate any fellows that would like to come into the area. We teach all who are welcome to learn, and we accept most as long as they pass our entrance exams.
If it's all right with you, I would like to have a tour of your little school, at least for what you're willing to show us so far.
Oh, absolutely. We appreciate having people join us and see what we have. The gym at the moment is currently occupied, so we are not able to go in there as of yet. Obviously, we don't want to subject you to possible injuries. The battles for hero training can get pretty intense sometimes, although do be certain it is perfectly safe. Any injuries that are sustained are only minor, and they are more than easily healed from a good night's rest. So, not to worry for your child. Anyways, he gestures you to follow him as he starts walking through the building.
He follows behind.
Yep. It's a rather small building for the most part. There are several classrooms with random things inside. Some of them are for geography. Some of them are just classrooms like homeroom and stuff like that. There's desks everywhere. And it just kind of tells you the general layout of the building, more or less. Outside, he gestures to you. There's the gym on the left side, and on the right side, there's the dorms, where several people have taken to being, especially considering the things that have been happening as of late. It's a very small school for the most part, although it has been rising quite quickly. You do notice there is some construction going on near the dorm at the moment that seems to be trying to grow, basically. This is our building for the most part. It is rather small, especially compared to something like UA, but we are rising quite quickly.
We have went over to UA and looked through it, but my son here, he unfortunately doesn't do too well in crowds. You see, he is like a lead singer in his own band, but he has a tendency to he gets up close to him, electrify the crowd unknowingly.
Ah, I see, I see. He looks at Rogue.
He could use a little help with the learning how to control that, unfortunately.
So I assume that you have a electricity quirk. He looks at Rogue again, and he looks back at you. He looks no offense to you, sir. You look a little bit young to be this man's father.
Yes, everyone always, yes, I love it when people say that to me. It's the skincare, you see. Keeps me forever young.
Ah. Well, it is always interesting to have people join. He's a bit older than most of the students. He looks over again. How old are you, sir?
I'm 16.
Ah. You are about actually the age of most of our students then. You look a little bit more weathered than they do, but that should be...
That's due to my special quirk. It has a tendency to randomly shock me or others around me.
Learning how
So,
to control
mind.
dangerous quirks is one of the reasons why we have developed such an area like this. Do not worry. We will definitely make sure that you're able to control that within no time.
Would it be possible
I
if
hope
my
you
son
can.
could would be allowed to be shown to the classrooms?
Yes, actually. He looks at his watch again. Class should be probably taking a break sometime here soon inside the gym. If you all don't mind, we can walk over there and you can witness some of the activities that your child will be getting into before you're able
Yes.
to join.
Of course, of course.
So he brings you over to the where's my... Oh, I don't have a gym on this one.
Well, fuck. Why don't you have? Oh, that's right, because that was on the.
Yeah, that was on the hero side.
God damn it, Dan.
Oh,
Uh,
I was just gonna switch you guys over, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have my gym on this one.
We can
uh,
only
Oh
hello,
no,
these technical
let's
difficulties.
see if I can find my gym, huh?
I have an idea on how to kind of keep the pace. So as they're walking, Axel is talking with the principal. So tell me, Mr. Principal, what exactly are your plans for this school, so to speak? Thus activating the quirk. What are your plans, you dastardly fiend?
He has a wide smile on his face as he nods as he continues walking. Well, you see, sir, our plans for this school are very simple, and they're very ambitious. We seek to become the #1 school, to show off to the world that no matter where you come from, no matter how far down the pecking order, so to speak, you are, you can still rise above all of your opponents. You can still be a shining beacon, an example to everyone around, even when people do not believe that you can be. It is why even I, who do not have a quirk, is able to create such a place like this.
Ah, a fellow quirkless, I see.
He nods. My father was a hero. Back when he was still living, unfortunately. He is not with us today. But he was a hero, and he was a very stubborn old man. He always believed that it does not matter who you are, it matters what you do and how you do it. He is one of the reasons that I was able to fund this place in the first place. He always told me, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, be true to what you do, to what you want to do, and always remember, everything is accessible to you, as long as you try, and you love what you do.
Your father sounded like a very wise man.
He was a good man, stubborn and kind of cruel, but a good man. He knew where he stood, and he gathered respect wherever he may have lived.
I'm assuming, considering a school, in a sense, you might have gotten some bad apples, so to speak, over the years.
We've had a few. Thankfully, no large batches, let's say. But definitely, we've had more than our fair share of troubles and triads. Unfortunately, this school year is one of the best, but also have gone through a lot more than most of our other school years.
Any that are happening this year recently?
Hmm?
Or no? Have you not had any problems with students this year?
So far, we have not had any problems with students, no uprising students. There have been a couple of moments, shall we say. One of our students, for example, his shirt lit on fire for some reason. We're not entirely sure the cause of it yet. It might have just been a spark inside of his outfit that he neglected to notice. But it was very quickly handled, do not worry. But may have been one of the other students' idea of a practical joke. We've had that quite a few times, but we're not too sure. So far, we've had no one too bad. All of our students have been tippity top. There is one student that we've had a little bit of trouble with. Do you remember on the news the blue bomber by any chance?
I don't really follow the news very often. I'm more looking at statistics and stock prices. My son
I've
here
heard the name here and there.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know.
we brought him in order to well, as you said, you look at statistics in order to quell the rising damage that's been done to the town, but also to generally raise the hopes that our fellows in that the city have, all the citizens have, the hopes and dreams that they rely on us for. We're trying to raise those by taking in this vigilante and turning him into a proper hero. Unfortunately, during the scuffle that was had earlier, we're going to be performing a funeral later today for one of the other members of our family, we'll say, here at Mugen. He fell
Sure.
to Mr. Jack, the serial killer.
You all lost a teacher to a villain.
No, we lost a student.
My goodness.
Yes. It was a very unfortunate situation, and we are seeking to remove that possibility from future endeavors. We're tightening up our regimens, we're removing them from potentially dangerous situations like that. But
Where
unfortunately,
was the at while he was confronting this dastardly fiend?
yes. He gave his life in order to protect those around him and protect other citizens from a fate that Jack himself led. He was the pinnacle of a hero that one can aspire to be, but at too steep of a price, and one that we seek to never recreate again.
So tell me then, how well are the teachers well equipped to deal with a, shall we say, uproaring student?
They are fairly well equipped. We have two counselors on field, although one is recovering at the moment from the battle. The other counselor is very well equipped. We got a new substitute teacher just recently, and she's actually inside of here. Let me introduce you. He walks into the gym as does it. Is fairly empty at the moment. There are some students wandering back and forth. They appear to be either on a break or something of that sort, but a lot of them are outside of the building, outside of the gym at the moment. But Tanya is standing just kind of in the middle, waiting.
Axel walks right up to her as he's like, "Ah, Miss Tanya, nice to see you again."
Gorn.
Do I know you?
Well, so to speak, yes. You would know of our mutual benefactor, Mr. Johann.
The principal, that's the word. Principal walks up and says, "Oh, I did not know you were acquainted with Miss Tanya."
We have
Yeah.
a mutual acquaintance.
Yes.
Ah.
I have heard of her exploits from my mutual benefactor.
Hmm.
I support his business. He gives me a few bits of information on dealing with the stocks.
Well, Miss
Johan
Tanya.
always was good with that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Well, Miss Tanya. Mr. Oh, I'm afraid I did not catch your name, sir. I apologize.
Axel.
Oh.
Axel Dusk.
He reaches out his hand to shake yours. Dokua.
He shakes his hand.
He also offers it to Rogue as well.
Rogue reluctantly shakes it.
And your name, sir?
You just, my name. You can just call me Jack.
Well, Miss Tanya, Axel here was interested in getting his son, Jack, to enter into our academy, as we've had many dropouts, as you know, so far, because the predicaments we've been in. We're always seeking to include new students, if possible.
I also know that this is very unbecoming, considering it is relatively the middle of the semester. But I was hoping, we just recently moved into town from afar.
So I want to introduce you to him and have you explain some of your future training regimens that you would be going on, so they know what to expect from the school.
You thought to ask and introduce the person who's on their first day to give statements on the school?
Well, yeah, your specific training regimens that you're interested in implementing.
Step 1, survivability. Congratulations, you just graduated.
Yes, it would be imperative that the students would know how to survive given the worst case scenario. Unlike that last student I heard about recently. What was his name, by the way?
I know, Tanya replies.
His name was Washi. He was a recent student and a good man. If you wish to know more about Washi, although is a little bit close to his passing, but I could introduce you to Dollhouse if you wish. He is another one of the teachers here that we tend to talk with. He's been here for quite some time as well, and he knew most of the students. Washi was particularly under his watch.
Axel hears Dollhouse. His rage starts, but he's trying desperately to not let it show on his face. Now he knows where to find him.
He is a teacher here, although he's been here for quite some time. He is one that we would bring you to if you wish to know more about how we teach. Since he is one of the teachers and he has been here for a while, he will be able to give you in-depth discussions about this. I can also bring you to Iku, who is the more permanent teacher that we have, considering Dollhouse is currently injured. You might have better interactions with Iku.
It would have been interesting to have heard about.
Check your PMs, bub.
Oh, would he not?
No, he wouldn't, because of the type of person Dollhouse is and what his job is. Sorry, had to fact check you for a minute there because of the character backstory. I'm watching through the stream. Sorry, everybody who's watching, fact checking the DM for a moment. Okay.
Fair, I have difficulty with so many characters, but yeah. So in that case, he would have mentioned Iku first and not mentioned Dollhouse.
Okay, rolling it back then.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Dollhouse is a very particular type of character who wouldn't be mentioned. It's like, okay, just gotta. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the stream. Sorry for interrupting. Y'all have
problem.
fun.
But so he would have mentioned Iku instead, who is the more prominent teacher.
Iku. Yes, I would like to talk with her. Get to know a little bit more about the programming going on at this school. If it would be possible for my son to be allowed to go and mingle with the other students to see if, maybe there's a friend or two that he could make here.
It is always good to make connections with other students, so I would be more than happy to allow him to stay with Miss Tanya here as the other students begin to filter in to continue their regimens. He can sit out the. What are you doing here at the moment? Are you just doing basic survival training, or?
That'd be accurate.
So you can watch the basic survival training, kind of get a grasp on what he'll be doing at the school in terms of the combat scenarios that we have. Learning to survive is extremely important in our case, and we like to teach hands-on, especially in terms of quirk training. That way, one such as him does not end up injuring themselves or gain such a tolerance to their own quirk that they no longer injure themselves.
Yes, that is why I was hoping that getting him into at least one superhero school, one hero school, would be very beneficial for his quirks.
Yes, in that case, Miss Tanya, if you would like to have Mr. Jack here stay with you, I will bring Mr. Axel to Iku.
All right.
So he starts heading off with Ron.
Now
Cool.
we divide and conquer.
So much division here. Alright, so this is about where we'll be ending it, unless Tanya has anything she wants to say to Jack or otherwise.
No.
Oh boy.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, Mr. Axel's done. We caught talking to, what's his name? Iku. And, Roasted will be dealing with Tanya, trying to implement the,
Roasted. Excuse me.
What?
Roasted.
I think you mean rogue.
You
No,
mean
Roasted's
rogue.
don't be
I'm
trying
not
to.
there.
Oh, sorry, not Tanya. Diana. It's don't be
Oh
trying
my
because yeah, I was like, it's don't be trying to implement the demon blood. But yeah, so Roasted's don't be dealing with Diana, trying to implement the demon blood into him, which hopefully takes hold. Rogue's don't be watching the next episode of Heroes with the other group, watch them kind of maneuver around and whatnot. And potentially might have some character interaction there. And then Ron's done be talking to Iku, and I don't know where Mal is. He's done be off in the distance somewhere. But yeah, we got 3 different trains here. I'm very excited to see where they go. And then also, next episode, if you guys check us out in Tuesdays at 6 p.m. PST, I apologize. We're going to also be adding the Deku coming in as well to be able to have some interesting moments there. Specifically, he's going to be there with Mr. All Might as well. The All Might.
No!
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting.
I have to hold myself back from doing stupid shit.
So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. Not sure exactly what's gonna happen next Tuesday, but hopefully you guys will be here watching it with us. And we'll see all of you folks at that time. Again, if you guys want to see our previous videos, if you haven't already, go to Tables of Tartarus on YouTube. And you'll be able to see all of our tabletop RPG adventures. Alright, bye!